the next section is about necessities you would need for school, right? I know y'all think about some of the regular stuff like sheets and towels and all that, but with COVID-19, there's going to be some additional things we may need. So with that being said, Jared, what resources would you recommend to students in order to succeed in college life, whether online or in person?
So honestly, like for each class is going to have their own like textbooks and stuff like that. But internet, just if you have internet access, you should have it on campus. But even if you're at home, if you have internet access at home, literally everything you need, search real quick is like right there. Just look it up and try to find it. For things like specific things like food and like clothing, I know my campus at MT has like these kind of like storages for like canned foods and goods people need to eat. Or we have like a thing called like Raider Closet, which is made for if you need business attire for an interview or like a class or something. So don't think there'll be a lot of classes that'll have you walk into a classroom needing a suit, but if you need that, like you need physical things, your campus should also have that. And yeah, just ask about them.
Okay. Teresa, same question.
For me, the biggest thing that I need is a space free of distractions where I could do my work, because if I have a distraction, I will use it. So on campus, that's easy. You can just kind of go to the library or a study room. But I would say even if you're at home doing online classes, I would still try and make an effort to find a place where you're not going to be bothered by younger siblings, pets, parents, whatever, where you can just focus on the work that you're doing.
That's great. Thank you. Carly, same question.
Going off of what Jared said, internet is key. I know at Fordham, before everything was online, you could go to the library. I went a lot of times when my computer broke. I don't really know what resources will be for your particular school. I know Fordham has an IT department that is working with students to make sure they have technology and that you can get internet access. If internet access is a problem, I know my school does some programs to help students get free internet access. So check if your school does that too. And then a necessity that I didn't think about until my second or third year of college was color coding and highlighting my notes as I'm taking them. So a highlighter to highlight important formulas or keywords, something I wish I thought of 2 years earlier.
Okay. All right. So this is kind of similar to the question I just asked, but if students are unable to obtain some necessities for success, what are some places on campus or online that can provide these necessities? And Teresa, I'll start with you, please.
My school had a specific department that you could email if you had any trouble transitioning online or just anything for school. But even if you don't have that, I would say talk to your professors, talk to your advisor, heck, even your parents, because even if they don't know exactly how to help you, they can probably direct you to someone who does know how to.
Okay, great. Carly?
Yeah, going off what Teresa said, reach out to anyone and maybe they can at least steer you in the right direction. Fordham, I know IT is big. We also have a counseling service that can also help you get in the right direction. Financial aid is super helpful if you're trying to figure out a grant to cover something financially. They've helped me a ton of times. So talk to your financial aid office. They're normally nice. And ask professors or ask anyone, and maybe they'll be able to help guide you to the right resource.
Great, thank you. Jared?
Same thing. Look up in the directories, departments, just people who run things that are specific for what you're looking for resources, and ask questions. Just ask so many. When you're in a new environment, it's very hard to want to ask people for help. It can be kind of anxiety driven, but it's if you don't ask, you'll never know. You'll never really get the help you need. So if you see somebody Carlos a financial office, ask them hey, do you guys know anything about scholarships? You know anything about loans? How is this going to help me to pay off things? There's something how some out the Raider Closet if you need clothing for stuff. Just ask questions where to find I need business clothing today. I need food at this food closet. Just things like that. Just it's there, but if you don't ask about it, you'll never know. So ask questions.
Gotcha, definitely. Thanks, guys. So, Carly, what adjustments will you make when returning to school when considering COVID-19?
For me, I'm in New York City, so there's so many things that I used to do that I just won't do anymore. One thing for me is I know that if I'm working next semester and I'm in New York City, I won't want to be taking the subway to work. So I'll have to make sure that I'm working somewhere that's like, you know, a 45-minute walking distance. And before COVID shut down, I was 30 minutes walk from work. So for me, making sure I have transportation that I feel like is safe and clean is a big one for me. Also, I'm going to completely change the way that I like socialize with my friends. Like we aren't allowed to have guests anymore at the dorms. So for most of my friends, I'll be socializing by like walking in the park, or club meetings might have to go virtually, but I'm trying to rethink about how I can actually go to college and get everything I need safely. So it's a full 180 for me.
Wow. Jared?
Yeah, for me, I've realized last semester when everything hit, I just did the worst thing and just stayed in my room for most of my days. I think my biggest adjustment, other than just keeping my schedule like I talked about earlier, just like the planning and stuff to keep focused, is getting fresh air when I can. Like even if it's just right outside my door, like just standing there and just breathing in some fresh air. Because you'll sit in your room all day and you'll just down yourself after a while. So that's my main adjustment, just doing that more often and getting myself out the house or the dorm.
All right, guys, this is like great. This is great information. But before we leave this section, anything else you want to add? Like, are you going to take any special cleaning supplies, or, you know, what kind of, are you going to do any of that? Anybody want to add that before we leave this?
Great question about cleaning supplies. Disinfectant spray for like the air and Lysol wipes. If you can find them, cheat code. Go to like Dollar General or like stores you don't usually go to a lot. They usually have them. Just have a nice amount of that and just be ready to just wipe my door down and like my desk and stuff. But yes, that's about it.
Okay.
Stock up on your mask, definitely.
Mask, yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And like I'll need to have a discussion with like all my roommates about who's cleaning what where, because we're like on an on-campus apartment with a kitchen. So I feel like that's a discussion that if we get to go back, we'll all have to have immediately.